No, Josh McCown's smarter.
Josh McCown's got the direct line to the Lord, we think, as well.
Oh, because of a potential God connection with Easter B. McNair.
He doesn't have that job yet, dude.
Well, John McClain, shout out. John McClain has come out and said, I wrote this in the Houston Chronicle this morning. Josh McCown's still on deck as NFL's next big story. What does that mean? Because everybody's going to be pissed when he gets a head coaching gig? Mm-hmm. Is that why it's the next big story, or is he the next big story because he's going to be a good head coach? Either way, John McClain doesn't mince words here. He knows what he's saying, how he's saying, why he's saying it. Josh McCown's going to be the head coach of the Texans, right?
Yeah, he's had this job for 18 months since they hired Coley.
But Josh, right? McCown coming out, never coached a day in his life, I don't think, right? And he's totally a finalist for that job.
Well, John McClain allegedly doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground is what the internet told me. I'm not saying that. I'm just telling you, some people tweeted me that after we broke the news that Josh McCown is going to be the next big NFL news that John McClain wrote in the Houston Chronicle. And John McClain's been covering the Texans, I think, for like 30 years. I think he was even covering the Oilers at one point, whenever they were around. So we just assume on this show, if John McClain's saying it, there's a reason he's saying it. And then a lot of people in Houston were like, nah, John don't know shit. John don't know nothing. But if he gets hired, hey, he might be a great head coach, honestly. Josh McCown might be a great head coach. Mm-hmm. But with everything going on with Flores and obviously Hugh Jackson coming involved, and I think there was some other folks, and there's a class action lawsuit happening where, like you said, there is not supposed to be any done deals, where the Dayball deal was already finished before Flores even went in for an interview, and how that it looks incredibly awkward and uncomfortable for Brian Flores. And he said it was humiliating, obviously, the entire thing. It's a wild time right now. And I think that's going to happen whenever there's like 8 head coaching opportunities out there. This is a lot of openings, right? And this is taking a lot longer than normally, right, Chuck?
Yeah, no question. So this leads us all to believe that, there's candidates obviously that are still in play on these 2 staffs that are left. Maybe Lou's name. I know you had Lou on earlier. His name was. I guess he interviewed at one point with one team. I can't remember which team it was, but obviously Raheem Morris, defensive coordinator there at the Rams, and O'Connell. Those are 2 guys that are still playing. So that'll drag the process out. But believe me, if those guys know, and they've had their discussions, because you're saying, hey, we got to build a staff. We got to put a staff together, and there's only so many coaches, available, and guys covet certain guys, and those guys, especially the really good football coaches that have been around a long time and have a lot of experience, the guys that are hiring, or been hired to this point, they're on the phones and they're getting those guys in for interviews, and they're trying to, seal these contracts up. So the pool is going to shrink really, really fast. So these teams that haven't named their guy, they either have them, in place, and they're just sitting there because they're still working, or they're trying, maybe something happens and something comes up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden, oh shoot, we got to start all over.
Coach Kevin O'Connell's been distracted trying to put his staff together.
Oh no!
You think Lou's been fucking around trying to build a goddamn staff?
No chance.
No way.